Thank you, Abhinav, and good morning to all. And I hope you all are well. So today we'll be discussing in a brief about HTLE team as well as what roles we all are involved in with respect to our team, which is spread globally. Obviously, we cannot give you a really deep overview with respect to many topics if you already know about them. But what we can do is obviously, if as Abhinav did say, right, with respect to the HTLE chat room, you can raise your questions, and we are happy to collaborate with you with respect to the customer, with respect to your questions or whatever queries you have. Okay. So let me move forward. So this is the agenda for today's call. Okay, so first of all, a brief about the HTLE team, high touch license experience team. Then we'll jump on to the major topics to which we cater for our customers. The smart account and the partner holding accounts, the various types of smart accounts, the benefits associated with respect to a smart account. Then the subcategories, the subcategorization inside a smart account, which are called virtual accounts and its types, the various user roles which are involved uh, i- for with respect to any user which connects to this network. There are 5 roles. Uh, a roadmap of licensing journey and something about our teams, and then how to basically engage HTLE team for your respective customers. Okay. So moving forward, this is a very self-explanatory slide, which basically tells you about some parameters with respect to our HTLE team, our vision and mission. So starting with a vision, Cisco customers be self-sufficient with Cisco licenses. So our main aim is that whenever a customer is basically onboarded, right, with respect to managing their licenses and their products, and they're doing a handshake with Cisco and creating a smart account, customers should have that knowledge, self-sufficient knowledge based upon the manuals and the video links which we provide them. Obviously, they can engage Cisco and the HTLE team in where we can actually educate them with respect to the various portals, how to better manage their licenses and products. Okay. The vision stands out that the customer should be self-sufficient with the Cisco licensing and to manage their products. When I say products, I basically mean the devices. Okay. Uh, Coming to the mission, basically to enhance the licensing knowledge of our customers by offering them free of cost personalized experience and handheld facilitation free of cost throughput the adoption and engagement of Cisco licensing platforms. Okay, so majority of our customers, when they basically onboard on the platform Cisco, the software cloud cisco.com, in order to better manage their two entitlements, which are licenses and products. Okay, so uh, at the very start of it, they might not be having that much of an idea of how to better manage it, what are the user roles, what are various types of smart accounts, virtual accounts, deployment methods. Okay, so that is where HTLE actually can groom the customers and basically what kind of orders they have placed with Cisco, what is the current position of their orders, and to connect with the other support teams if in a nutshell they have like other issues. Okay, so combining the core idea of a vision mission is to better educate our customers so that they become self-sufficient in order to manage the two entitlements, which are licenses and products. So if you see the whole picture, what we are trying to do is we are we are just making the customer, better self-sufficient in order to better manage a license and a product, because these are the two entitlements around which the Cisco licensing revolves: a license and a product, and both cannot work in silos. Okay. Coming to the numerics of a team, so we have team members who are spread globally. We're with 20-member team. Okay, our engagements in total stands at 3,000 plus with respect to our customers. Okay, 24,000 hours of training, demos, and facilitation has been done till today. Okay, the CSAT score stands at 99.1%. Now, these are the approximate numbers which we have gathered like from the day HTLE was created. Okay. We have received 5-star rated services which are 500 plus. Feedback from the customers who want to recommend HTLE to their peers or to other partners stands at 99%. We support four languages in our team. which stands at English, Japanese, French, and Spanish. And within 24 hours, if you create a request, if any partner or any CSE creates a request with the HTLE team, there'll be a particular SPOC, single point of contact, who will be responding to the partners or to the CSEs either through mail or through WebEx Teams. Okay, so they'll come in contact within 24 hours. Okay. Coming to the customer type, so this is a brief bifurcation of the portfolio which the HTLE team manages. And the categorization, majority of it is in the enterprise domain, which stands at 37%. So majority of our customers from APAC, EMEA, and AMR regions. Okay, so combining all the 37% portfolios from the enterprise region, the public sector stands at 15%. Then the commercial stands at 29%. Military and customers who wants to deploy not the most used method and to deploy some reserve method so that they can deploy their products and they can see the license consumption on their devices in their domain. So those are called military customers specifically. Okay, and federal customer stands at 2% and partner stands at 6%. Okay. Now, the engagement length with respect to the day any partner or any CSE creates a request with HTLE, right? So within 0 to 30 days, 47% of the requests gets completed, no matter what the topic is, whether the customer has a specific query on where the current position of license is, whether to provision a demo license in their smart account, to groom them with respect to smart account or with respect to other ports like MCE, which are managed Cisco entitlements or EA workspace and whatnot. So 47% of the requests gets completed within 0 to 30 days. Going forward, there are some requests which also prolongs up to 3 months, which is 60 to 90 days. More than 90 days, only 1% of the requests, and the portfolio which we're managing from the past, from the past quite some time, 1% of the total requests till now have gone above 90 days, and yeah, and within 30 to 60 days stands at 36%. Okay, so basically a brief about the HTLE, the vision, mission, our team, and the various customers which we try to manage. This slide will basically talk about the scope which we manage for our customers. We also go above and beyond with respect to our scope at times. Okay. So the first will be the smart onboarding of a customer, where a customer comes in contact with Cisco and they want to manage their licenses, their smart licenses and products on Cisco by actually creating a smart account with respect to obviously there are checks while they place a request with Cisco, but to onboard a particular customer to basically satisfy their particular concern that how a smart account will be created and what are the steps and validations attached to it, and within how much time the smart account will come into picture. Okay. Going ahead is the smart account, smart licensing demo, guidelines, and best practices. Obviously, if the smart account is created, we try to educate our customers that why do you need a smart account? What are the benefits attached to it, right? And we pick up any demo account which we have, and then we try to give them a high-level overview in a first call that why do you basically need it? What are different types of smart accounts? What are virtual accounts? Why do you need them? The various user roles attached to it, and how you can upgrade or downgrade a role, and how basically a license is placed. There are various ways by which you can place orders for a particular license. There are dropship orders, there are disti stocking orders. How a license which is placed in Cisco Commerce Workspace finally comes into picture into a particular smart account and virtual account, and the best practices around it. How many virtual accounts are required in order to better manage a smart account, and what kind of user roles should have access to it. So in totality, a brief nutshell around it. Then comes the third step after the onboarding and the best practices is the smart account analysis, consolidation, and restructuring. Now, there are at times that customer is well aware about why do they need a smart account. Their licenses are in place. They know the manual process for registering the devices. But there are issues with respect to, for example, there are customers who have multiple smart accounts or who have like good 40 to 50 virtual accounts. Now, that is also one place where we try to step in, we as HTLE try to step in, and we guide the customers that how many smart accounts, or in totality, one particular smart account should be required for any customer, and how they can better bifurcate their virtual account structure and give access levels to specific spots for specific virtual accounts. Okay, so there comes the part of smart account restructuring. Now, if a particular customer is not aware about what all entitlements they own, then we help them to generate reports from our internal tools, which obviously we have access to, as well as we educate our customers that they can generate reports from the reports tab. They can generate reports from MCE, which is Managed Cisco Entitlements, which is a different portal altogether. So in totality, analyzing the whole smart account for a customer, that, you know, guiding them to register a product from step one to step to the last step, and how basically a license is then consumed for a particular device. Okay, so that whole analysis and restructuring part. License conversion and migration is also one topic which we try to delve in. Now, in Cisco, there are various forms of licensing. There is traditional licensing, there is smart licensing, and there is another form of licensing called SLUP, which is Smart License Using Policy. Now, because there were drawbacks and there were shortcomings with respect to the traditional licensing, and there is the separate portal called License Registration Portal for traditional licenses, and then we have CSSM, Cisco Smart Software Manager, for managing the smart licenses. Now, customers at times want to convert their traditional licenses to smart licenses. So there are various steps and there are various ways by which you can do that. We can convert the licenses from LRP, License Registration Portal. You can convert the licenses from CSSM, Cisco Smart Software Manager. There's another portal called SLT, which is an internal tool. So better to basically better guide the customers how they can convert their licenses, what all licenses can be converted. At times there are licenses which cannot be because there are certain limitations attached to it, and what are the various ways by which they can do that. Okay. Then all the topics with respect to smart licensing, the best practices, the restructuring analysis, and the conversion specifically caters to smart account and virtual account analysis. Now, there are other portals too, like MCE, EA Workspace, and Smart License Using Policy, which at times are required by customers to better manage their licenses and devices. Okay. Enterprise Agreements Workspace is called EA, which is used to generate licenses, and then those licenses are available in Cisco Smart Software Manager, or CSSM portal, and customers can better manage it. MCE will basically shows all the entitlements which are owned by the customers, okay, with respect to the headquarters and the additional locations. Okay. And SLP is Smart License Using Policy, which is the most evolved form of licensing. So some demos and some information around it, and how to basically link all these knowledge repositories to the basic core of smart account, smart licensing is also one interesting aspect to it. Then comes on the training on the new licensing features. Now, every month there are new releases, right? There are new improvements which we try to do. So information and knowledge sharing around those licensing features across various platforms like CSSM or LRP or MCE or EA Workspace. That also we try to work with support teams, and we try to help our customers around it. And then finally, the questions around strategic questions and the support, various support channels. If customer is well aware about all the various subcategories, then if they have specific queries around firewalls, or if there's specific queries on particular products like Catalysts, 9800s, or some routers or some switches, we try to help our customers with respect to that basic knowledge repository base. And then if it's out of scope of our HTLE team, we try to connect them to various support teams. Now, these are the example of questions which our HTLE team gets like in totality most of the times. How to find my licenses in my smart account? What are the best practices and tips for user management? And how to get the full visibility with respect to my licenses and devices with respect to, for example, if I pick up any particular license SKU, what is the purchase order number? What is the sales order number? What is my license start date, expiry date? How many quantities of license I have ordered in that particular SKU? What is the subscription ID attached to it? Okay. So how to pull that reports from various portals. Okay, what are the deployment options available within Cisco licensing? There are three, basically: connected mode, mediated mode, and disconnected mode. Okay, so basically grooming and briefing our customers around it. Uh, why is there a need to upgrade my product to a smart enabled OS version? How to intercept alerts? Alerts basically gives you a brief about your smart account, right, in CSSM. So how to interpret alerts in Cisco Smart Software Manager? What happens when the license has expired if it's a subscription based license? What are the license reporting options available in CSSM? And if there is any new license feature which the customer should be educated on. Okay, so these are the most of the questions which we get. Obviously there are other questions too. Okay, but these are the most picked up questions which we get, which we used to get in the past years as well as now. As I did say that with respect to some of the scope, we engage our L1, L2 and TAC for product specific questions. So there are sometimes topics which are out of scope too for our HTLE team. Moving forward, now this slide will basically show you why do you need a smart account. Now, in order to really simplify it, a basic repository where you can try to manage your licenses and products. If you order those entitlements from Cisco, either from Cisco Commerce Workspace or from other portals involved, obviously Cisco will give you a PO, purchase order number, a sales order number, a serial number attached to a device. In order to better manage and see the visibility of a license and a device, you need a smart account. That is like the core reason why do you need a smart account for any customer, right? In order to better manage thousands of devices and licenses, and in order to see the consumption of those licenses on devices. Obviously, there are other various functionalities and aspects attached to smart account, smart licensing, but this is the main idea around which smart account revolves. Okay. Now, if we see this, that there are two processes: how to request for a smart account and how to request access to an existing smart account. So these are the steps attached to it. Okay. For both of the processes, you need to go to software.cisco.com. Okay. And then you need to go ahead with the process. For requesting a smart account, you need to fill some parameters right at the start, because you're creating a new entity altogether, and then the process starts, and then there's an automatic email which is sent to admin for requesting access to an existing smart account. The highest role which is attached to a smart account approves the request of this new user. Okay, so that's how the process is. So as I did say, all these slides will provide you a high level overview. Obviously there are good deep steps attached to each and every process, and if we engage in future, I mean, we are happy to let you know about that. Now, this is with respect to customer smart account and partner holding account. The basic concept is that obviously partners at times, and most of the times, right, partners handle smart accounts for a customer. So and if smart account for a customer is taking some time, then partner holding accounts comes into picture, in which obviously the consumption of a license on a device cannot happen, but the licenses can be parked for a maximum of 1 year. Okay, in the partner holding account, in the partner holding account, and then the licenses are then transferred to a customer smart account. Okay, when the customer's smart account comes into picture. These are some smart account benefits, and these are just straightforward text. Obviously, it provides you greater visibility with respect to all your licenses and products, because you can actually see, and you can open the command line interface by entering the set of commands. What is the license consumption happening on my device? To which smart account, virtual account my device is connected? Is my license going to expire? Is my product behaving properly? Is my product connecting to cloud.tools.cisco.com? Okay, so it provides you that greater visibility for both of your entitlements. A centralized management workspace of software licenses and entitlements, because you just have to come to the main portal of software.cisco.com, and you can then basically see what kind of SKU you have in your particular smart account, virtual account, and what kind of device you have, and you can better manage it. There are other portals too, where you can actually also connect a device called on-prem portal, and you can transfer your licenses from from Cloud Portal to on-prem, but 90% of the customers basically connect to cloud.cisco.com, right? That's software.cisco.com, and they manage their licenses and products there. Drive down cost and improve the rate of investment by making better informed purchase and renewal decisions. Obviously, if you can see to that much of an extent that when my license is going to expire, what are the features associated with it? Do I even need a license in my renewal term, right? If there is a workspace which revolves around it, then your decisions will be better. Okay, and you can better manage your finances too. And the last but not the least, obviously, the organization and the management by business unit or geography or the company designation and delegate admin duties. As I did say, right, that there's this concept of a virtual account inside a smart account. You can bifurcate your organization's departments with respect to virtual accounts, right? And we'll see it in a little detail in the latest slides. So what happens is that, for example, there are various departments inside a particular organization. There's this, for example, there is this organization called XYZ. There are departments like marketing, and there are departments like let's say operations or HR, right? Now you can bifurcate those departmental structures, for example, right, by creating separate virtual accounts for it, so that while making an order, while making a license order from Cisco Commerce Workspace, you can specify that to which smart account and to which specific departmental virtual account you want your license to be placed in finally, right? So in totality, it provides you that better manageability for your licenses and products. Okay. Now these are the slide which will basically tell you around what are virtual accounts and how you can create virtual accounts, right? So as I did say, in a smart account, we have these sub accounts called virtual accounts. Now, it depends upon the organization. Why do they even need a virtual account, right? We as Cisco will always recommend our customers to have good 8 to 9 virtual accounts, depending upon obviously what kind of need they have. If they want to make virtual accounts, as I did say, on like departmental wise segregation, like marketing, operations, HR, they want to segregate their businesses based upon the regions, like 2 or 3 virtual accounts for APAC region, 2 or 3 virtual accounts based upon AMR region, 2 or 3 virtual accounts in EMEA region. So it depends what kind of a requirement is, right? But it's always advisable to have good 8 to 9 virtual accounts inside a smart account in order to better manage it. For example, we have customers who have segregated their virtual account based upon the specific product types, like VA1 for routers, VA2 for switches, VA3 for wireless controllers. Okay, so it depends, right? And we can talk it in detail, obviously, once we engage one-on-one for a customer, we can do that. Okay. Now, this is what I've told till now, that virtual accounts are sub accounts within the smart account. Okay. And virtual accounts can be set up with respect to a specific business unit, specific products, geographies like APAC, EMEA or AMA region. Okay. Or other reasons associated with it. In the end, basically, when you make these segregations inside a smart account and then you place your licenses and products inside specific virtual accounts, you better utilize and your efficiency increases in order to manage the entitlements. Yeah. Now this is the most simplified and the flat virtual account structure in which you have a particular smart account. Okay. Then you have 5 virtual accounts inside a particular smart account, and then there are various roles which are attached to it. Okay. So this is the most simplified form of a virtual account structure, how it looks like, that you have one single smart account, you have good 8 to 9 or 5 virtual accounts, and you have specific users who access to those virtual accounts. Okay. Then you have a structure called nested virtual account, which basically means virtual account inside a virtual account. Okay, that is also possible, where you don't want to create a separate parental level hierarchy for a virtual account. You can create one inside the another. Okay, and it basically depends on the customer, the requirement around it. We as Cisco never recommend that you use nested or you use the flat account structure. Obviously, it will be better if they use a flat account structure. But if in case they want to create like good 30 to 40 virtual accounts, then it is always advisable to have the nested virtual account structure in place. And the information remains intact. If you go to the command line interface of a particular product, the information for a parental level virtual account as well as for a nested virtual account remains there. Okay, so user will know. So, but it depends, right? If you want to create like 40 virtual accounts for 40 separate products, then you can go for a nested structure. But if you want to create like good 6 to 7 virtual accounts, then don't create a nested virtual account structure. Have a flat structure, like only create a virtual account at the top level. Okay. Now these are the various user roles which are attached to a smart account structure for now. Currently, we have these 5 roles. Later on, we might have modifications in the month of July and August. And these user roles are only for our cloud portal. There are other roles too, which specifically cater for our on-prem portal. But currently, I'm just talking about the user roles which are for our cloud portal. So currently, we have 5 roles called Smart Account Approver, Smart Account Admin, Smart Account User, Virtual Account Admin, and Virtual Account User. Smart Account Approver is more of a redundant role because the major role of a Smart Account Approval is to accept the licensing agreements terms of service, which even the Smart Account Administrator can do. Smart Account Administrator is like the parental level role of a smart account. They know it all and they can manage all. Like everything is managed by a Smart Account Administrator. They can even get a daily event summary in their mailer from a particular smart account. Now it depends on the smart account administrator now, the other roles which are trying to access their smart account and placing the request for an existing smart account, what role they want to assign to them. A particular smart account can have all smart account administrators. There is no restriction that a particular smart account will have only 1 or 2 smart account admins. Everyone can be a smart account admin. Obviously, that is not the case for any customer. They have segregations at what virtual account specific roles can access to. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is SA admin controls that power and authority. They provide the access that to which virtual account and what role should be attached to this new user who has placed a request for my smart account. Okay. So smart account administrator, as I did say, is like the parental level role. Smart account user is also comes in the level of a smart account administrator, but the major point of difference is that they don't have editable properties. They cannot delete users, or they cannot upgrade or downgrade a level of a user, or they cannot delete a virtual account. Okay. Rest apart, the viewable aspect remains the same, what a smart account admin holds, but they don't have editable properties. Similarly, smart account admin and smart account user are at SA level. At virtual account level, we have virtual account administrator and a virtual account user. Okay, everything remains the same. It's just that the virtual account administrator will always have access to one less virtual account. For example, in a particular smart account, there are 10 sub accounts called virtual accounts, obviously, 10 virtual accounts. SA admin can access all 10 virtual accounts, but a virtual account administrator will have access to 9 virtual accounts at max. And obviously, the minimum is 1. Because if they, again, 9 plus 1, then they are anyways a smart account administrators, right? So that's what the limitation is. They have access to restricted virtual accounts. They can perform whatever, like they have editable properties and obviously the viewable properties, but limited to those particular virtual accounts. Similarly, for a VA user, like we have SA user, for those particular restricted virtual accounts, they can view, but they don't have editable properties. Okay. So you can imagine at SA level, you have 2 roles, at VA level, you have 2 roles. Okay. This slide will basically shows you the comparison between LRP and CSSM, License Registration Portal, and Cisco Smart Software Management Portal, right? Where basically on my left hand side, if you see, right, the LRP, which is the portal which we use for traditional licensing, there is no like better visibility, and you cannot see the properties associated with your devices and licenses there, right? So it provides you that restricted information. But the portal which we currently use majorly, obviously this portal still remains. The portal which we currently use for smart licensing, which is Cisco Smart Software Manager, it provides you that segregation that what are the details associated with my license SKU, my license start date, end date, my purchase order number, my SO number, right? And even if I have to talk in detail, even the visibility of that particular that smart enabled SKU or a device is better in our internal tools too, in comparison to traditional licenses. Okay, So this slide, basically gives you that comparison of our history and present. Both the portal still remains. We have traditional licenses even today, and most of the customers convert our traditional licenses to smart. But it's just a comparison that majority of our customers and what Cisco vouches is to have smart enabled products so that you can better utilize and manage it right from start. You don't have to convert them from traditional to smart. Moving forward, this is just a comparison, okay, and some information with respect to traditional based licensing and smart licensing. In a nutshell, basically, I'll jot down 3 features. A traditional license is basically node locked to a device. When I say that, it means that that particular license is only usable for that specific product SKU. Okay, but in smart license, that doesn't happen. We follow a concept of smart license pooling, where if you have, if a license is being consumed on a device and somehow that device is malfunctioning or that device is not working, we can release that license, okay, and it will be released in that smart license enabled pool, and then that license can be used on any other device, which is a really cumbersome step when we talk about traditional licensing, because the device is node locked. That license is node locked to a device. Okay. And there is this concept of PAC in traditional licensing called product activation keys. Okay. Now, PACs are usually automatically deposited in LRP portal, which is license registration portal, which is used for traditional licensing. And there is one more way where you can, you get the claim certificates in mail from Cisco for PACs. What happens in traditional licensing is you need to activate your product activation key to unlock the feature on your license. So there is this one extra step where you get the PAC key from Cisco. You put that PAC key on the particular license, you activate that feature on a license. Okay. So in order to avoid this chaos and confusion, we have the smart licensing in place where you can order a smart license enabled SKU from Cisco Commerce Workspace, or you can generate that SKU from enterprise agreements. Right from day zero, that license is available for consumption. You don't have to activate any PAC on it. There is no concept of PAC in smart licensing. Okay. And obviously, the third point will be that if I have to compare LRP and CSSM, CSSM provides you that that better perspective, better usability, and how to better register my products, and what are my license start date, end dates, and when my license will expire, to generate customized reports, which are actually not present in the LRP portal, which is used for traditional licensing. Okay. Now this is the licensing journey, which for like all our customers fall in one or two steps. Obviously, it's not a synchronized step for each and every customer. Like that customers go from step 1 to step 2 and then fall into step 12. Obviously, they can jump from one. Abhinav, okay. My screen is viewable to all.
Back?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it's not a hierarchy like from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Obviously, customers can jump from step 2, like step 1 to step 8 or step 8 to step 12. Okay. But let's talk about, so there are 3 like collaborative steps where you set up a smart account structure, you identify your licenses in license identification, and finally the conversion of classical licensing to smart licenses. So what this step basically talks about is that why do you need a smart account? To basically set up a smart account for a customer, okay, to create the required virtual accounts, to add users to those virtual accounts, to give access to those users, whether a smart account user or an SA admin or a VA admin or a VA user, right? So the smart account structure basically talks about that. Then basically the license identification, the orders for licenses which you have placed with Cisco, right? Where those licenses currently are, right? So the license identification for them. And then finally the conversion, if obviously a customer requires the conversion of a traditional license to smart, then there is a step-by-step detailed process, or not this step. There are other slides which talks about the detailed process of how you can convert your traditional license SKU to a smart license. So there are various ways by which any license can come inside a smart account, right? A license can come from directly from Cisco Commerce Workspace. A license can come from enterprise agreements. License can come from device conversion or device-led conversion, right? Or pack conversion, product activation key conversion. Okay, so all these steps talk about that classic licensing conversion where you convert a traditional license to smart from LRP to CSSM, and then the license is finally available to be utilized in the Cisco Smart Software Management Portal. So this is the licensing journey. Now, this slide talks about the various latching points for engagements with respect to your entitlements. And when I say entitlements, your licenses and products. Obviously, the first latching points starts with HTLE. And I think till now I have pretty much well explained that we groom our customers, we try to manage our we help our customers to better manage their entitlements for licenses and products right from their acquisition to its retirement, right? And to provide them manuals and to connect them with various support teams. So that is where HTLE comes into picture. Then we have something called licensing support. Now there are various like topics which are out of scope, for HTLE. For example, SNTC portal, SmartNet Total Care portal, for which we don't have access to, or DNAC portal. So we try to help our customers to connect to these latching points of L1, L2, and L3 support and other SPOCs respectively from those categories, right? And then they can seek support from them. The third is called Ask Licensing, for which the bot, there's a bot structure involved, and the invite is sent from the bot, and then you can ask the questions to that bot, and to good level of information, the bot will help you out. The fourth is called the licensing comms, where you can actually click on this link and you can search for a particular topic, and you can get manuals and watch videos around it. And finally, we have there are various other teams too, but specifically we have a team called Portfolio Acquisition Specialist team, which specializes in EA Workspace and enterprise agreement portfolio. Okay, so there are these the latching points around smart account, smart licensing. Obviously there are various other teams too involved, but majority these teams are used. Okay. Now this is an HTLE engagement roadmap where what happens is you basically create a request while accessing this link, and then within 24 hours someone from a team will respond to you, no matter what the region is, whether it's APAC, EMEA, or MR. Okay, you can also join our member chat, as what Abhinav mentioned right in the start, and you can ask your question specifically if you have, and then within 6 or 7 hours someone will come back to will respond to your query. Immediately they'll be in response. I'm talking about the full analysis. Okay, then as I did say, aligning the best resource who would reach out within 24 hours for your particular request, the kickoff engagements with partners, CSEs, and finally with the customers by negotiating a good time. Okay, preparing an action plan around it, then solving the challenges for the partners, CSEs, or for the customers in turn. Okay, and in between there'll be constant communication and updates from our end. Okay, and finally the closure. Okay, now the closure can vary depending on the customer's requirement, whether in 30 days or 30 to 60 days or 60 to 90 days. We tried it should not reach max like above 90 days. Like that's the maximum time in which we try to follow. Now these are some testimonials from from other CSEs and partners which they have provided in the past, ranging from APAC, EMEA, and EMEA regions. Okay, and finally this is a site like a site walkthrough where you can actually create a request with HTLE. Okay, a brief about what we do, and finally the link for our feedback. And this is a link which will be like really interesting for the people that to join our HTLE chat room, which have like good 1,000 member workspace now, where we try to address specific queries around around products, around licenses, around various deployment models, and yeah. So that's about it. I know that this is a very high level overview, and this might not be giving you a good in-depth knowledge of any specific topic, but this was a brief of what we do and what we try to manage for our customers. Okay. So that's
Thank
it.
you,
And
Anand.
yeah,
Thank you, Anand. I see we are over time. So, in the interest of time, what I've done is I've made a note of all the questions that you all posted to our chat, and I'll make sure that we get back to you. We also have our EMEA and Americas webinar scheduled for today. So, please expect us to reach out to you by tomorrow. And like I said, we would really appreciate your feedback also, because we want to know the kind of content that would be of most value and relevance to you. So please spend a few seconds. I've posted the link to the chat section. Drop your feedback. Let us know how you found the session, what you want to see, covered in upcoming sessions. And thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us, and we look forward to having you for our upcoming webinars.
thank you, Abhinav.